Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things, politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. In this video, we're going to talk about, again, geometric power plant in Abia. This time, it has to do with the issue of investment of Abia State in geometric power plant, because right now there is a back and forth on the level of Abia State investment, if any, in that project. Now you remember, if you are on Thursday, the governor of Abia State, granted an interview to Channels Television, was asked about Abia State investment in geometrics. The governor, Dr. Alex Otti, was very clear about this. He said that if there was any investment by Abia State government, he is yet to see it. He has not seen any proof, but he will be glad if there are evidence that Abia State invested in the project. And he did say that the Commissioner for Finance and some other people have been told and the Secretary to the State government to find out, go through the documents of the state to find out if there is anything like that. Okay? Now, that didn't seem to go down well with former governor of Abia State, Okezie Ikpeazu. Okezie Ikpeazu, who is among the worst governors the Abia State has ever produced, wanted to find a way to discredit Dr. Alex Otti, who has done so much for Abia State, more than in 9 months what Ikpeazu couldn't do for 8 years. So Ikpeazu and his people were trying to bring this harmony because they were not happy, obviously, with the credits that people are giving to Dr. Alex Otti. Alex Otti has embarrassed them, both himself and Okezie Ikpeazu, and the former governor, Theodore, who were like sitting duck when they were governors, that didn't do virtually nothing. The only thing that Okezie Ikpeazu did for Abia State was for Enyimba to win the Champions League back-to-back. Except for that, there was nothing else that you can remember Okezie Ikpeazu for. Of course, I do remember that at least he was able to provide land for geometrics, because geometrics started when he was governor. Okay, but that's not, anybody could have provided a land who is governor at the time for the project. Now, Ikpeazu and Okezie Ikpeazu and Theodore, they were all part of the locust years of Abia State. Now, to show that they want to portray Theodore Alex Otti as lying, that there was no investment. First of all, if you watch that video, the interview with Channels Television, Alex Otti never said that there was no investment by Abia State government. What he said, he has not seen the document. That in fact he said he will be glad, because it means a lot to have whatever percentage, whether 3% or thereabout. That is a big deal in a project of $800 million. So now this Okezie Ikpeazu, speaking through his former commissioner, put out a story in the media, and the story they put out was that the chairman and CEO of Geometric Power has addressed a formal letter to Governor Alex Otti, wherein he stated that the administration of Governor Okezie Ikpeazu actually paid for 3.5% in equity, in 3.5% equity, representing $3.56 million in the company. according to the report, they said this was revealed by a reliable source working with Geometric Power who spoke with our correspondent. Now, this story is I don't believe it. As somebody who operates in the media space, this looks like a planted story that has no substance. They say that a source revealed to them that Professor Barton that has written to Ikpeazu, has written to Governor Otti that yes, Abia State has investment in geometrics. According to the report, said this is coming on the heels of controversies started by Professor Nnaji, who told newsmen on Friday that Abia State government did not have any investment in the company, but was countered by the former Commissioner for Trade and Investment during the Okezie Ikpeazu administration, Chief John Ikpeazu, who asserted that he had evidence that the sum of $3.56 million was paid to the Geometric Power by the administration through Stanbic Bank. In the leaked letter dated February 28, 2024, and making the rounds in public space, Professor Nnaji confirmed his details as previously sent to Governor Ikpeazu. Going on the story claim, interestingly, Governor Alex Otti had already received this letter before his interview with Channels Television on Thursday night, where he claimed that he had no evidence that the state had any investment in the Geometric Power Abba project. In that interview, he also claimed that he did not have documents to prove that any investment was made. But Mr. Okezie, in a social media post, stated that the transaction was recorded in the handing over note given to Governor Alex Otti on May 29, 2023, and that all he had to do as governor was to request for details from the State Ministry of Finance to confirm. He further stated that the same details were published in the 2022 financial report of the state as circulated by the Otti administration, and wondered how Governor Otti could have first denied the existence of the investment through his aides and later lied on national television about it, whereas he already had possession of the letter from Barton Nnaji confirming Abia's investment in the project as consummated by former Governor Okezie Ikpeazu. Responding to questions from our correspondent, Chief Okezie asked Professor Nnaji to come clean on why he earlier denied the investment, only to turn around to confirm its existence. Now, this story, I see it as a story planted by Okezie Ikpeazu and his former commissioner. Because and I'm happy about it, when I searched through the newspapers, credible newspapers, mainstream newspapers, and online newspapers that has credibility, I discovered that no serious newspaper carried this report, because newspapers, credible newspapers, will have to be cross-check these allegations that was made by the former commissioner of Abia State under Okezie Ikpeazu's administration. But I'm disappointed that this story was shared by Rufai Hussaini of Arise TV. He was the one that pasted it on his wall, and I read it. And several other people read it because he has a lot of followers. So people are now running with the impression that Alex Otti is trying to hide something, and Professor Barton is hiding something about Abia. They were not hiding anything. What would they benefit by hiding that there was no investment? Besides that, how can you hide something like that? If there is really an investment, it will eventually come out. So that is neither here nor there. But the important thing is that there was a proof. There was a proof that that there was a proof that there was an intention for Abia to invest. Whether they invested or not is another issue that will be unraveled. But this man, this commissioner, former commissioner, is claiming that there was enough, that the Abia State invested $3.56 million, which is a big deal. Alex Otti himself said it in that interview with Channel that he will be glad to have such an investment, because it means a lot to the development of the state to have a project in which the state, a project of this magnitude, for the state to have up to $3.56 million, if it is true, in that kind of investment. That was basically it. But I think Okezie Ikpeazu is just trying to show that he was also relevant in the geometrics. Because right now, many of them are feeling that Alex Otti is taking all the credit. But why wouldn't Alex Otti take all the credit? He is the governor when it was commissioned. He is the governor that negotiated for gas to be supplied to the geometrics. What did Ikpeazu do? Because this project had already finished a long time ago. There were challenges about gas supply through the NNPC to the plant. It was Alex Otti that did the legwork and ensured that NNPC supplies the gas necessary for the plants to come on stream. So I don't know what they are dragging at. If there's, what they ought to have done is to, show the documents they have that they paid. That is what is expected of them. It is not for them to be running around in the media. And I'm happy, as I said, no serious media organization listening to them. That's why you can't find it in major media platforms. But the only reason I'm talking about it here is because Rufai Yusini of Arise TV put it on his wall, and he has a lot of followers, so that people don't get misled by this kind of propaganda. Okay, now to show that the commissioner himself, the former commissioner himself, is speaking from both sides of the mouth. In an earlier publication by the Vanguard newspaper, he claimed that it was $5 million that was invested. Now in this statement that was found on Rufai Yusini's wall, he is now saying that it was $3.5 million. So this kind of contradictory statement is why you should take whatever they said, Ikpeazu people said about this project, with a pinch of salt. They are not reliable people, because if you want to gauge their level of reliability, look at how they messed up Abia State for 8 years. Under Ikpeazu, salaries were not paid for years. The higher institutions in Abia State were disaccredited by the accrediting institution because Ikpeazu couldn't do anything. Ikpeazu was a total failure. That he can still talk and send people to write press statement talking about how his contribution in geometry is an insult to Abia people, because he messed up that state. He ought to be among those who will keep quiet and allow Alex Otti to shine with his visible contribution to the development of the state. It is not for them to try and puncture the celebration of Alex Otti by the people of Abia State and indeed the people of Southeast. Because right now, Alex Otti has shown what is possible when you have a leader who is committed to the development of the state and not for the development of his pocket. Okezie Ikpeazu should shut up about the issue of geometry. If he has any document, he should quietly go and send the document to Ikpeazu and say, this is what we invested, this is the receipt we use in payment, and then confirm it from the chairman of geometrics, which is Professor Barton Naji. That's what is expected of them to do. It is not for them to be running around looking for how to criticize Alex Otti. as if Alex Otti is the reason why they didn't perform well for 8 years. Alex Otti has shown that they were a total disgrace to Abia State in their 8 years of administration. Okezie Ikpeazu was a disgrace in terms of performance to Abia State. He has no business trying to punch on Alex Otti. And nobody should listen to them. They had the opportunity for 8 years to turn Abia State around. Like somebody asked the other day, where is Alex Otti getting this money? Getting the money to do what he's doing right now? And the Okezie Ikpeazu didn't know where to get those monies. Neither was Theodore or Joseph Okaro. They should just keep off and allow Alex Otti to concentrate in the business of developing Abia State, which is the task at hand right now in Abia State. No distraction is required. Alex Otti should be allowed to do his job. Thank you for watching this video.